In celebration of Salman Khan's new YouTube page, I decided what better way to celebrate than by reviewing a film that came out over 25 years ago starring Salman Khan himself as well as Aamir Khan. If you clicked on this video, I'm going to assume that you've already seen this film once, twice, 3 times, and so I'm not even going to bother to get into the plot. I'm just going to talk about the things that I liked. And to be honest with you, there's a lot. There were some people in the comments that were kind of advising me that I might not get it, I wouldn't understand the humor, and I can kind of see where you guys are coming from, but you need to understand something about me. I grew up watching movies like this. My uncles and my dad, as well as other people in my family, loved stuff like this. So things like Three Stooges and just various other Looney Tune cartoons and things like that. Jim Carrey, I mean, these in-your-face comedies where a lot of physical interaction is going on to convey the comedy. It's just something I grew up with, and so I love that. It was nostalgia. Of course, the movie is over 20 years old, so there's automatically a nostalgia factor, but I'm not Indian, but yet I still felt it, and I love that fact. And you know, I'm going to have to say the credit has to do with 2 things, 3 things as a matter of fact: the directing, the writing, and the performances. The writing, directing were definitely spot on, especially in the early moments that really established the overall story as well as the characters. I love the moments in the barber shop where they're in the barber shop and Aamir Khan's like, oh, imagine this, this, and this, and then we're instantly transported to what he's saying. You know, it was a visual show, don't tell, but in this case it was showing and telling, which is actually kind of interesting. I like that. He could have just looked off into the wall and said, oh, imagine us in suits and this and that, but no, we go right there and the father's like, oh yeah, yeah, and then we cut back to the reality once we realize that he just wants to sell the business in order to go out and to pursue Ravina, who is the star, who's played by Ravina, but it's not the real Ravina, and then there's the swoopy swoop. We'll get in the plot twist in a minute. There were a lot of moments like that where the directing definitely helped to push the narrative forward, but also to enhance the comedy. At the very end, there's that sequence which was hilarious with the guns where it was like, freeze, put your hands up, and then the camera dollies and it reveals another gun, and then it reveals. That is direction. That is writing as well. And to be honest, when they're synthesized and working together with the comedic timing and all of that, it just works. I love that stuff. It keeps the pace fresh, and it always kept my mind going. I mean, when he pulled out that musket pistol, Vasco da Gama's gun, I was genuinely just rolling on the floor. I loved when Aamir Khan was saying that he was the football player and he was like had all the poison, the cups, and he was like moving them around, and like that whole scene. I mean, it was very simple circumstances, but we all understood them, and as a result, just because of the performances and the context of everything, it works. It's funny. It is over the top. It's not realistic, but that's okay. This is a movie, and I loved that fact. I loved that the film just went with it from beginning till the end. It fully embraced the genre. It never once deviated or pretended to be anything else other than what it was supposed to be, and I love that. Even when the movie went full-on action towards the end, there were still plenty of funny moments in that very last scene. I mean, you have the whole dance fight scene, which was hilarious, where Salman's like, and they're that scene had me dying as well. That was a great scene. It was hilarious. And then there was literally cartoon moments, some literal Tom and Jerry Roadrunner Looney Tunes style moments. I mean, there's a bomb in the flour and the 2 goons who are literally like cartoon character goons, which is fine. I'm not complaining. I loved it. You know, they have a bomb, and then a bomb gets thrown out the window, and it blows up behind them, and they turn around, and you see them, it's all black behind them, and their clothes are charred and everything. Clearly not realistic, but that's what happens. I mean, even in the Vasco da Gama gun, he shoots himself in the face, and it blows up. I loved it. I loved that. It was great. It was funny because we all grew up with cartoons like that, or at least I'm going to assume that's the case. And that's kind of just the simplistic approach to storytelling. And then there's poop jokes. I mean, there's a poop joke. There's a whole laxative poop joke, which has been told time and time again. It's nothing original, but I liked it. I liked seeing Salman Khan struggle and then go to the bathroom, and every time he comes out in threes, and then when Aamir Khan blocks him and he's like, oh, that was funny just because it was just so lighthearted and just, especially during this coronavirus time and everything like that, where it is serious. Things are very serious that are going on right now. And so watching a film like this is something that I recommend if you haven't seen it. And if you have, maybe rewatch it again, because it's still a pretty funny movie. Getting to the twist with the girls switching, normally that would be too much. That would be one too many twists. But the fact that the movie acknowledges it and they're making fun of it along the way makes me completely forget about why it's so absurd and kind of ridiculous. But it actually kind of works, because there's a lot of these twist and switching things. I mean, especially with the father, the Ram Gopal character, who's also doubling as Teja, and not in terms of like they're not the same people, obviously, as you've seen it, but there's the switcheroo in the jail where, he gets out, the real one gets out, and then Salman beats him over the head, and they take him back in after he just broke out, and they switch. I mean, these little moments are funny. With Aamir marks him with the X for no reason. There's just these little comedic moments that I just really, really enjoyed, and it's also a testament. I've talked about the writing and the directing, but also a testament to the performances. Aamir Khan and Salman Khan, and actually all the players, I'm going to be honest, every single one of the people on here fully commit to their roles 100%. And when you're dealing with material like this, I think that's the best way to go about it. Because what I mean by material like this, I mean it's clearly over the top. As I've mentioned, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And they fully commit to the role. They're willing to just throw their bodies and be ultra physical, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed seeing Salman do that, because all I've seen of Salman really is his later career, where he's a little bit more stiff, a little bit more rigid. He tries to be more like that, not necessarily an older man, because he won't embrace an older man character like, say, Sanjay Dutt will, but he just wants to be more solemn and tough and look at me and my big muscles and stuff. Whereas this 25 plus years ago Salman was just willing to go there, and it looked like he was having fun from beginning until end. And Aamir Khan he's Aamir Khan. What more can you say? But also the girls, they were great. They played off each other as well. The goons, they played off each other as well. They were funny. Their little sidebar conversations were funny. Master Agogo was an amazingly funny character who was so over the top. I love that. I love that he was a superhero always stealing things. The ending bit where it was great. I loved it. I genuinely loved the diamond switching. I mean, the only thing I did not like about the movie was the very, 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 very end, when it just ends. I wish there was an epilogue where they went to the wedding or they did something. Did it need it? No. But I loved seeing them so much that when the movie just abruptly goes to the credits, I was like, oh man, that's it. So that's just a testament to how funny this movie is. And as a result, for me, it is a great movie. It is a great Indian film, because it represents so many things that are Indian, but also it connects to the world at large. I really do feel like anyone could watch this film and understand it, as long as they go in with an open mind and they know this is the type of film you are going to expect. And one more thing I want to mention, the costume design was great. There are so many Los Angeles hipsters who, if they've never seen this movie, I guarantee it, but if they did see it, they would pay top dollar for the things that some of these characters were wearing in the film. It's a hipster's delight. I personally just love the way the colors pop. I always talk about this, and now I understand why Wes Anderson shoots what he does, why he's so influenced by Indian cinema, but most people just don't know it, because the colors, the way the shirts pop against the background, I love it. I really do love the way Indians approach their costume design. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite aspects. It's something that always is visually stimulating without anything even happening on screen. You just know that thought was put into it, and I really appreciate it. There's little small performance things too. Aamir Khan will wink when he's lying. Like, there's little just subtle things that I enjoyed too, where it just screams to be rewatched over and over again with a family, with a friend, whoever. I mean, this is something where I feel like this could be a solid, funny DG drink, not because the movie's crazy, but because it could just be a genuinely good, funny time, because it's just a funny movie. It's a dumb, lighthearted movie, but it was made to be that way, and I mean that in the most positive and complimentary way that I possibly could. So with that, guys, Let me know what you guys think of this movie. Have you seen it multiple times? I'm very curious to know. Please let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, we'll see you tomorrow.